Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Bryan W. Adams.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Bryan Adams. Thank you so much for joining us on today's Inspire podcast. Before we get started, I wanted to just touch on what's happening right now in cities across the country. Like you, I've been very troubled by what I've been seeing over the past week, and I just think it's tragic on many levels. And my heart personally goes out to everyone who has been affected. As you all know, respect is one of Integrity's core values. And we believe in treating all people the way that we would like to be treated. In light of what's happening now, we're currently exploring ways that we at Integrity can come along and promote and support diversity in the communities that we serve, including setting up a new President's Council for Diversity that I would like to set up that would be made up of representatives from throughout our company to really talk and look for ways that we can come alongside and promote and support diversity within the communities that we serve. We want to meet, listen, and learn, and do all that we can do to help ensure that more voices are heard, because I believe that open and honest and sincere dialogue has never been more important. Here at Integrity, we are committed to trying to make the world a better place and to do our part in that. And so I just wanted to spend a few moments sharing my heart with all of you on this Inspire podcast about just what the country's going through and how we're looking for ways to support the world during this time. I believe this is a time that we should all stop, listen, reflect, pray, and really reflect on ourselves and just the communities that we're in. And so I wanted to just take a moment before we get started on this podcast just to reflect on that. And so I'd ask all of you on the call to join me in a quick moment of silence to just reflect and think about everything that's going on and pray and really just think about how we can be part of a solution that can help all people be treated equally. And so I appreciate if you guys would join me for just a brief moment of silence now. Well, thank you very much. And we'll be providing details on the new President's Council on Diversity and some of our plans to support diversity in our communities coming soon to all of you. But I appreciate all of you for doing your part to make this world a better place. On a similar note, one of the things I think that I've seen throughout this competition and this Inspire podcast is how we've managed to touch the hearts and lives of a lot of different people. A few weeks ago, we talked about our friend and colleague Tony Smith Jensen about at American Benefit losing her husband Jeff very suddenly and unexpectedly, and we learned that one of the songs that was performed by Cameron Rupa was on the podcast was Jeff's favorite song, Time of Your Life, by Green Day. And Tony actually had played that at his funeral. Well, today is Jeff's birthday, and I know it's especially a difficult time for Tony and her family, and I hope that she knows that we're thinking about them today, and really just want her to know that I know this got to be a very difficult day, and we want to continue seeing people as people and remembering good times and tough times. And so, Tony, I just wanted to say we love you and thinking about you. Well, today we've reached day 4 of the Integrity Idol Finals week, and we are so fortunate to hear from another amazing finalist, Miss Alyssa Conyers from Premier Marketing. Alyssa is a wonderful singer and honestly an even better person. Her story also really touched my heart and inspired me and my wife to share our personal story on about losing a child on a podcast here with Inspire. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into learning more about her charity. But now, I think it's time to bring Alyssa back and hear from just this incredibly talented woman. So, Alyssa, are you there with us? Welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, I'm here.
What's up? It's awesome to be back with you here.
Yes.
Wow.
It's amazing to be on here.
Well, so listen, I loved your story about Rocket and Rain, and just loved hearing your story. We'll talk about more of your story here in a moment. However, whenever you listen, your audition tape. Honestly, there was a lot. I keep saying tape, like there's no tape anymore. But your audition video was one of my favorites, and I can't really say that because I got a lot of favorites. But you holding Baby Rain and a Baby Bamboozle, as I like to call them, but I think they're called Bjorns, with your son Rocket playing in the background while you're playing piano was legit, man. So tell me, do you have Baby Rain and the Baby Bamboozle right now, or what do you got?
I wish. It would be awesome to have her strapped in while I'm working all day long, but I had to take her to daycare, unfortunately.
Man, well, yeah, I was hoping that you would have Baby Rain with you as you sing, but so here's how this whole goes. I think people know the drill by now, and man, Alyssa, I gotta be honest, like I dread getting to the finals because, like, what are we going to do with this podcast after that? But and we've learned so many amazing things and heard from so many amazing people during this time, gotten to know people in a much better way. And so as this kind of week's coming to an end, I kind of dread Monday because we're kind of going to put a bow around this whole Integrity Idol idea, right? It's I think it's been fun. I hope you guys have. But hearing from people like Patrick and Cameron yesterday, I mean, we've just heard from so many. Candy on Monday, golly, Candy could sing. Bringing in all of you guys, and we still got PJ coming as well. But I don't know. Have you had fun with it? Honestly, have people at Premiere, have you guys enjoyed hearing about this and listening to the different people and getting to know them better?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed listening to everybody's stories and all the different musical backgrounds and talents that everyone has. It's just been amazing.
Well, we can't wait to hear your story. But before we get started, kind of the way the show goes is you sing a song, and then we talk a little bit, and then you sing another song. So what's your first song for us today?
So the first song I'm going to sing is Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper from A Star Is Born.
What an amazing movie that was, and those guys killed it. So this is a big song. That's one of my favorites from that movie, so can't wait to hear it.
All right, here we go. Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times, I fear myself. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. That's it.
Oh, come on, keep going. That you got to get into the like. That was awesome. I love your voice. I want to hear more. That was that's a true testament of great admiration. I think is when people go, "Well, don't stop, keep going." That was amazing. Thank you so much, Alyssa. You know, we got to know a little bit about your story before. But we'd love to get to know a little bit more about your story and kind of your background, where you're from, how'd you get into music, etc.
Yes.
Would you mind sharing some of
that? Of course. I just first want to say, thank you to everyone on the Integrity team and for doing all of this. It's just made such a big impact on so many people, including me. And I'm just want to say how honored I am to be in the top 5, along with all the others who are extremely talented. And I don't play the piano like it sounded like I did in my audition tape, but I don't play the piano. So all the other top 5 are just incredibly talented.
I thought you were sitting at the piano.
No, I'm not. I was just sitting at my desk and I had a video playing along with it, and that's the piano that you hear. Yeah.
Well, that was still impressive. Hey, Mike Newton from Tidewater. I doubt you've ever met Mike. One of the greatest guys. I mean, he's just one of the best guys in the world. Mike just texted me and said, "Get her a record deal now." So I just want to give you a shout out on that. I love it when people recognize real talent. So how did you get into music? Tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into music, and just a little bit more about your life.
Okay, so I was born and raised here in Norfolk, Nebraska, where Premier is located, and I've always loved singing. I was in the singing in elementary school, and then I joined a couple of children's choirs growing up, and we would perform for nursing homes and many local events, such as like the tour of homes, and I continued my love for singing going into my high school career, and I joined the concert choir and the show choir there. And then I also participated in 2 national honor choirs, one in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the second was in Springfield, Massachusetts. And then after high school, I was planning to go to a performing arts school in California called the Young Americans, which tours around the U.S. and other countries, and they provide music education for students ages kindergarten to high school. But I decided to stay in Nebraska near my family, and I also had a boyfriend, but that might or may not have swayed things, but that didn't work out. But staying here in Nebraska certainly did. So then I moved to Lincoln, and that is about 2 hours here from Norfolk. And I went to cosmetology school. And shortly after I graduated, I met my husband, Dana, and we got married and decided to move back to Norfolk. And then I ended up working here at Premier.
Wow. So how long have you been at Premier now?
I just celebrated my 7th year, May 20th.
7 years. Man, time flies. Wow. Well, I didn't realize you came that close to moving to California. Man, I got to tell you, I'm glad you stuck around. I know everybody at Premier is grateful you stuck around. I'm sure your husband's grateful you stuck around. The fact that you were considering performance art school says a lot about your musical passion and your ability. There's a lot of people who want to sing and want to perform but don't have that ability to even consider that. So it says a lot about what your passion is and frankly your ability, as we've just heard.
Yeah, music is just so important to me, and as I said, I've always loved singing. I've kind of used it as a form of therapy for a lot of things, and I have an older sister who is 4 years older than me and is also a singer, and we shared that same love of music and often sang together growing up, and so it was just kind of natural for me to follow in her footsteps. And I remember one time she set up my dad's old camera and was recording herself lip singing to Mariah Carey's Always Be My Baby, and I'm in the background mimicking her every move.
You got to send us that video. Man, you got to be careful about telling me stuff like that, because we got a habit of finding videos and sending them out to everybody. So you got you're going to send us that video.
I'll have to see if my parents can dig it out.
It's probably on tape, like I keep talking about, and young people like you had never seen a videotape, so you will have to figure out how to convert it. But
on a VHS, yep.
Well, listen, you're such an incredible musician, Alyssa. And as I said earlier, your story also really touched a lot of hearts, including mine and my wife's. It affected, it really affected me so deeply as we were kind of going through the podcast last time, and I got some texts from some of your coworkers and learned about the fact that you'd also lost a couple of babies, and you had a baby born at full term, and his name was Kellen, I believe, and he didn't make it. And then he also had a miscarriage, and it made me even more grateful about organizations like the charity that you're supporting with the Briggs and Barrett Project that works to help keep parents and their babies safe. And I know it's a very emotional subject for you, but I understand. As Robin and I, you actually literally inspired me and Robin to tell more of our story on Before Mother's Day's podcast about us losing a son, Titus. And I know it's an emotional thing, but would you mind sharing a little bit more about your story and kind of the passion around the Barrett and Briggs project that you have so much passion around?
Yes. So the Briggs and Barrett Project is named after two boys who passed away as infants, and their mothers wanted to bring more awareness to SIDS and SUIADS. So after we lost our firstborn, Kellen, we just remember how much easier it was to handle the grief by hearing others' tragic stories. So just to know that we weren't alone. So I remember hearing their stories when their sons passed away, and I felt a strong connection with them at the time, and I feel like I have an even stronger connection with Allison, the mother of Barrett, because when I was in the hospital and in labor with Rocket, we heard the code call come over the PA system and of an incoming pediatric transport. And we just prayed for God to keep that baby safe. But then later on, we heard of the tragic news. So I just felt a really strong connection with her, even though I've never told her that before. So how I got connected, though, with them was last December, Owlet, which is a partner of Briggs and Barrett, was hosting a surprise baby shower, and Briggs and Barrett had asked all their followers for nominations of a deserving mom. And my sister and one of my friends had nominated me, and I was chosen. And so then they provided me with thousands of dollars worth of baby supplies for my new baby. And that's how I finally got connected with them. And so now I want to pay it forward and give back to them so that they can help other families. You know, their desire to educate and ensure others don't go through these same tragedies, you know, despite their own losses and grief, is just so uplifting and inspiring. And I just want to give back to them.
thank you for sharing more of your story. I think you made such a good point there, Alyssa, that hearing other people's stories that have gone through something before, like you, and then see how they've made it on the other side, I think is such an important thing. I know when Robin and I were going through those really difficult days with Titus, and then also Asher for being in the hospital for so long, it was connecting with people who could truly relate, who could say, man, I know I've been there, and man, sometimes not even saying a word, just like sitting there. I figured, I learned that there was something that I think is called a ministry of presence, that sometimes you don't have to say anything. You just need to just be there and just be like, I'm just here with you. And I think of a lot of people who really came alongside us during that time, and then now, I mean, it's a passion of ours. I mean, how do you also give back during that and be there for other people who have who go through that? And so I love hearing your story about that. I appreciate you sharing it.
Yep.
Now, you said that there was a code call that came on while you were delivering Rocket, your son. There's also something called a rainbow baby, right? And a lot of people who haven't lost babies don't understand this, but we have a rainbow baby called, his name's Shiloh, and Shiloh means peace, and that was what our prayer was during that time. You have a rainbow baby, and the idea of a rainbow baby is kind of this promise of that you have after a loss. And it's tough, man. I know for me and Robin, it was really tough to even consider trying to have any more kids after that loss. But the whole concept of a rainbow baby was something really powerful for us. And your rainbow baby, well, you got two rainbow babies, but Rocket. And so that code call that you heard. So was that Allison's baby, Barrett, that the cold call, the code call was coming in on?
Yeah, that was Barrett. So the ambulance was bringing in Barrett, and that's the code that we call while I was, in the middle of contractions, pretty much. So.
Oh my gosh, and the fact that you and your husband stopped during man, I don't know if I can get through this, Alyssa. The fact that you guys stopped during your labor with Rocket, and you were praying for Allison, man, I just don't know if you could have picked a more meaningful cause. And I don't know if you know, but we've asked Allison to join us today. One of the co-founders of the Briggs and Barrett project, Allison, who lost Barrett and was part of that code call, and who the foundation is named after. Allison, I hope you're there with us, and I just want to tell you how grateful we are for you also sharing your story and being there to support others with your story, and making such a big impact.
You, Bryan and Alyssa, for all of your support. You were talking about that ministry of presence, and that's kind of how the Briggs and Barrett project started. Barrett passed away in December of 2017, and that next January, I heard of another baby that had passed that was local to Norfolk, and something inside me, I just knew that I needed to reach out to this mom, tell her she's not alone. I had just went through something very similar, and I'm there if she just wants a shoulder to cry on, if she just wants to sit in silence, whatever she needed, I was there, and I totally understood what she was going through. So she actually responded to me, and this is Briggs's mom, Melissa. And we got together a couple times. We did not know each other prior to this. So we got together, and we just decided, that no parent should ever have to go through the tragedy of losing a child, but unfortunately, if that's it's going to happen. The world's not perfect. So our goal, though, is just to educate parents on the risks of SIDS and to provide them with the tools and resources that they need to significantly decrease that risk. We've connected strongly with Premier over the last few years, and they are one of our biggest local supporters. So we truly feel like family to them, and we're so grateful to share our message with you guys today and for Integrity support.
Wow, Allison. Thank you again for man, this is what the world needs more than ever before, is people who see problems and step up and lead out in those problems. And you inspire. Man, what you guys are doing, and just is such an inspiration. And I know that you guys have come alongside Premier in such a big way. I don't know if you realize this. Melissa, your co-founder, actually messaged my wife Robin after our podcast personally and said, "Hey, I just want to connect with you guys because of our story that we too lost a baby and kind of went through." And I got home yesterday. I was traveling yesterday, and I got home, and there was this amazing box with from Melissa to my wife Robin with a book and that she had written, and then also some jewelry that she wanted to share with Robin, which was, I mean, just so giving and caring. Somebody that you guys don't even know, and you're supporting. It inspires us to do more, and I just want you to hear, personally how much, I believe that you guys have such an impact, and make such an enormous difference. And I know what you guys also did. I mean, a lot of the stuff we did at Premier, and what you guys have done to support Alyssa and the rest of the Premier family has been just so impactful. And I appreciate you and Alyssa sharing your stories. In fact, I asked Tom Sheath and Mike Wingate, the founders of Premier, and my partners. We've been partners for 17 years, and they actually supported me through our process with losing Titus. I asked them to join us just today to share some of their thoughts and thanks. So Tom and Mike, are you guys there?
Yes, we're Bryan.
Yes.
Tom,
Mike, you want to? I don't know where we go. Mike, you want to go first? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Alyssa, you're a rock star, and we can't thank you enough for everything you've done for us at the office and in growing Premier and things. But your personal life and your losses and what you've done now and going forward and helping others is just amazing, and we truly has reached a lot of people and touched a lot of people. So thank you from in doing so.
Alyssa, hey, this is Tom here. First and foremost, man, what a tremendous job during the Idol competition. This has been so uplifting for, I think, everyone at Premier and really for the entire Integrity family. It's just been so cool to see, all this great talent come together, especially during all these trying times right now, to bring, some joy to this world that definitely needs it right now. And man, you're incredible. Appreciate all the great work you do. Here's the next 7 years with Premier. You've gone through 7, and man, it's just amazing how quickly that's gone. And Allison, thank you for sharing your story too as well. As you know, Shelley and I have been very big with Briggs and Barrett, and it's just so uplifting to see something good come from something that's very tragic. So thinking up the cuff here a little bit, what I'm going to do, and if Mike's welcome to join me, is for the next 1,000 votes Alyssa gets, I will donate another $5 per vote to the Briggs and Barrett Foundation. Anything we can do to help save a life, I think, would be absolutely tremendous. So thank you both for all you do. And that's about all I can say, man. It's just kind of choking up a little bit.
Yeah, and I will definitely do the same. So we'll double that, and so Tom and I will each do that. So it's amazing to have you guys do this. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm literally in tears right now. So I'm going to stop everything I'm doing. So I'm going online to vote right now for Alyssa. Everybody can vote as much as they want. You can vote for everybody if you want. Alyssa, I just voted for you. And Allison, what Tom and Mike just said is, so you're guaranteed $1,000 through this. And honestly, Alyssa has as good a chance as anybody for winning the whole thing. However, and that's even more money. But what Tom and Mike just said, for 1,000 votes, and we have over 1,000 employees here. So, man, I encourage every employee to get on and vote for Alyssa, and honestly, vote for everybody. What that means is that would be another $10,000, so $11,000 to the Briggs and Barrett Foundation and project, and how will that impact your budget and just the overall? What will you guys be able to do with that?
Oh man, that is incredible. Thank you guys so much. Well, a few things that we do with the Briggs and Barrett project is we're partnered with 6 different hospitals that are around our community. So like Norfolk, Lincoln area. And we provide every newborn baby that's born in those hospitals with a Halo sleep sack. And that is to replace a blanket in the crib with the baby. And that is one way to decrease the risk of SIDS. And for every $10, we're able to supply one baby with a swaddle and a book about SIDS. So that will incredibly impact that. So every vote will get a baby to go home with those things. And then also we do the outlets, and those are $300 a piece is what they retail for. So for every $300, we are able to donate 2 outlets to families in need who maybe can't afford one, or, have other things that happen in their life that just doesn't put them in a position to be able to purchase one of those.
Wow, that is amazing. I remember when we brought Shiloh home. After you lose a baby, especially, just the fear and anxiety is, oh my gosh, it's so much. Especially, we were in the hospital with Asher for 147 days in our NICU, and he was born at 1 pound 2 ounces, and it was such a tough thing. And then we had Shiloh, who was born at 8 pounds 4 ounces, and he was like this big fat baby, and we didn't know what to do with him. They let us come home like 2 days later or something. We're like, what? Without any monitors. I think we would have given anything to have those that type of monitor, just to have peace of mind and sleep. And so,
absolutely,
what you guys are doing is so powerful. And so, listen, I'm not letting Tom and Mike have all the fun. I'm going to also match what Tom and Mike are doing, because I believe in this so personally. And so we're all going to be in this together. And so I just want you to know, like, Tom and Mike and I will all match that. And so I hope everybody gets out and votes, and can't wait to continue to hear how y'all's story continues to impact others. Tom, Mike, you guys are just such amazing leaders and in our industry, but also just in life. And so I just want to say thank you guys for leading. Allison, please give Melissa a hug when it's socially appropriate, I guess. But make sure, Allison, give Melissa, I can't remember. I'm all messed up right now. You got me all emotional, but give everybody a hug later whenever you can get socially distanced and all that type of stuff. But thank you guys. We love what you guys are doing. We're here to support you. And Alyssa, man, Tom, Mike, stick around because we get another song from Alyssa. I don't know if I could sing after all of this emotion, but Alyssa, what's the next song that you have for us?
So the next song I'm going to sing is All My Loving by the Beatles, and I sing this to Rain every night to get her to go to sleep. Sometimes she doesn't go to sleep, but still, I try. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Remember, I'll always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll write home every day, and I'll send all my loving to you. All my loving I will send to you. All my loving, darling, I'll be true. All my loving, all my loving, all my loving, I will send to you.
Wow, that was beautiful. That was so beautiful. Alyssa, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for sharing your voice. And thank you so much for all that you do, not only for Premier, but for integrity as a whole. Man, what an emotional show today. And what an incredible podcast. I want to again thank Tom Sheath and Mike Wingate for joining us today. I want to thank Allison from the Briggs and Barrett Project and also her partner, Melissa, and really want to thank Miss Alyssa Conyers for joining us, sharing her story, helping others through this, and also sharing her beautiful voice as well. Thank you all again. Hope everybody has just a very blessed day. Really appreciate everybody and all that you do. And we look forward to doing our part here in Integrity to making the world a better place. Thank you, guys. We'll talk soon.